Support comes from the Wiregrass Archives at Troy University's Dothan campus, identifying and preserving historical documents and photographs for research related to the Wiregrass region. More information at troy.edu/wiregrassarchives.
Being a teacher is not easy. I know. Understatement of the year. Teachers juggle test score pressure and parent expectations, not to mention a classroom of 20 to 30 young people who would rather be anywhere else. It is easy to get overwhelmed and miss the forest for the trees. That's why we're here. We're getting to the root of the issues facing educators today, connecting teachers with experts, and finding resources and solutions. Through conversations with our guests, and hopefully you as well, we'll all learn and grow together. From the little saplings to the tallest oaks, this is Growing the Forest and the Trees, Big Pictures and Everyday Realities, a podcast from the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences at Troy University. I'm Dr. Shirley Farrell, here with my co-host, Dr. Lisa Etheridge. When we hear the word data, or do you say data, most of us probably think about rows of impersonal, unending numbers. But Principal Rodney Drish is using data to help make public education more personalized. At the time of our interview, he was the principal at Pike County Elementary School. He's currently an administrator in Florida. He's been an educator for 26 years. He's coached football and basketball and has always had a fondness for data.
Would you share a little bit just about your process with data, how you go about it with your teachers at your school, and why is this important for not only the school, but for the teachers, but for the students and the parents?
Yes, absolutely, Ms. Elstree. I've learned a long, long time ago, all the way back to my classroom days. The first thing you need to do is learn the data, and by learning the data, you're going to learn your students. One of the things that have been so successful for me as an administrator is doing my homework before the students walk through the doors. Like, for example, I'm in my office right now doing the homework for my teachers. I'm looking into the data to find out what are those strengths and weaknesses that our students have based upon their past assessments that they have taken in the spring. So by looking at that data, I'm able to look at different content areas and see areas that we need to work on more and tweak here and the tweak there. And by doing that, that drives everything because numbers, I truly believe that numbers don't lie. And my philosophy of nothing stays the same. It's going to get better or it's going to get worse. So in dealing with the data here at my school, everyone embraces it, starting from the top down. I try to lay out a platform. We have a data room that we call the Data Dogs Room, and this is where our teachers come into the data room to where every student in our school is up on the board somewhere because we believe in moving students one student at a time. There's no other way around it. I mean, it's just no substitute for it. And that's our driving force. It is ongoing. It is not something that we have there at the beginning of the year and it stays there and nothing changes with it. It is ongoing, embedded changes to where we can see if we're making progress in the right direction. So it has to be the heartbeat of your school, the data, in my opinion.
Share with us a little bit about, I know that you meet with your teachers once a week. Share with us a little bit about what that is like and what you discuss and how that format is working.
Yes, whenever meeting with teachers and starting back with them, I'm gonna back up for a second. After the data has been broken down for the summer, we come together as a team once the administration has looked at the data and the leadership team. We come together as a team once school starts back, and the teachers are embedded in that decision making. So we look at those strengths and we look at those weaknesses, and we come up with what we call a short term and a long term goal to solve problems. And the teachers are embedded with that. If the teachers, if they don't have the answers, our leadership team helps with the teachers on the decision making. And what I mean by my leadership team, that consisted of myself, the assistant principal, my reading specialist, and also my library media, and also my special education staff. They are there also as a team. So we come up with all these different strategies and things that we feel like could work, and and leading all the way up to what whenever we meet with our teachers on week or bi-weekly, we're constantly looking at the data to see is it going in the right direction. And if it is going in the right direction, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We continue to stay with on that same course. But if things are not going in the right directions, we got to differentiate our instructions. We got to go back and find some new strategies. And if the teachers don't have those, the administration has already done the homework, and we have those in a we have a bank of things that teachers can pull from. And the leadership team, everyone has input on that because we all are here for the same common goal, and that's for each student to grow. So if we are all on the same page and all on the same sheet of paper and we're speaking the same language, we have seen the where it works. And the data doesn't lie. Like I said, our data room, you can see those students moving in the right direction whenever we have the right plan for each student. Like I said, you may have a classroom of students to where they all are not on the same level, but however, we have a plan devised to where through our tier teaching on our tier one, tier two, and tier three, that we're able to reach each and every student.
That is so impressive, especially meeting every week with the teachers, checking in with them. We've been talking about data, but I think the listeners, especially those that may not be well versed in education, what types of data are you actually collecting and looking at to help determine what each student needs?
Okay. First, we start with we have a progress monitoring tool to where we test students at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. Like, for example, we have one of our newest programs that we're using right now that's been state approved, which is called iReady. And what basically happens is when a student enters Pike County Elementary School here in the fall, our students would take this progress monitoring test. And what this test will tell us on each and every student is where they are. This report will give you all the strengths and weaknesses of those students. And by having that, that is the starting point to see, meet the students where they are and to grow them. And that's the most important thing is each student are not on the exact same page. They may be on different pages, but however, this program allows us to see where those students are, if they're on one grade level behind, if they're two grade level behind, if they are almost where they should be, and if they are better at this standard, but they're weaker at that standard. Our teachers have a blueprint to follow to where they can meet each student need.
So you've talked about, a lot of this is we bring the students up. They've got a benchmark, they've got to pass and master the standards. What about those kids that have already gone beyond the standards? Does iReady help you with that and help the teachers with differentiating for them?
Yes, absolutely. Because what already is designed to meet your low, medium, and high students. You may have some students who are working at the beginning of their grade level. You may have some that are meeting at the middle of their grade level, or you may be having some that are meeting at the end of their grade level. So already we're not holding back. To me, it feeds each student where they need to be fed, and that way you don't have to worry about students getting bored because it's going to work them in the areas where they need the most work. It's not going to work. Everyone is not going to be working on numbers and operations. You may have some student that may be working on fractions. So it just depends on the student. And not only that, when you're talking about some other things that teacher use, uh, you got those formative assessments that they use. Like, for example, teachers are asking questions and having the students to close their eyes and give me a one, two, or three, depending on what those answer choices are. So now that teacher got immediate feedback. They can collect that data from those immediate feedback, and they can make adjustments throughout the entire class period. That is the most key thing, is having a strong tier one, because uh, a strong tier one says that 80% of your students should be getting what you're teaching during that particular class time. When our students are star tested, whenever they take a star test, we may have some students that are in second grade reading on fifth grade level. So those students know that they don't have to read a second grade book. They're going to have a reading range that allows them to read in their range and be on their particular path, and not have to be on the same path as everyone that's in second grade. So I mean, we have unique situations set up, like I said, that reaches all the learners and put them all on a different pathway.
Excellent. So we've talked about the data that the classroom teacher is collecting just with her normal assessments, her informal methods with getting the kids, to let her know. And then the iReady and now accelerated reader, the AR testing. What other kinds of data do you use for decision making?
I mean, we use a vast variety of different assessments, such as the chapter tests, exit slips, which are excellent because before that student leaves that classroom, you want to know if they know what you've been teaching. So those exit slips are really really good. Quizzes are also good, and here's another one because we know that they are technology savvy. We use a lot of Kahoot. All the students are able to answer questions. Teacher got immediate feedback, and it almost puts them in a competition because I know you all have seen it on a lot of different levels, but they may have race cars that show, as they're getting them correctly, whose car is moving a little bit farther than the other one and things of that nature. But all of those different types of things are awesome whenever it comes to looking at the assessment of the data. And also use a program called Stride. Stride Academy is also a one has been a huge driving force in our school. Stride is very similar to iReady, and the data has proven to be pretty close to the ACAP scores that we take. And it's a practice just like iReady. It basically finds out where the students are, and you can create quizzes, and they can be on different pathways to reach all of their weaknesses.
Do you involve students in the decision making and the goal setting process of using the data?
Absolutely. That is a huge biggie. One of the and I'm going to brag. One of the biggest driving forces is having those students to buy in and allowing them to be a part of the goal making process. It gives them responsibility and ownership. And by giving them that, once those students, our teachers meet them one on one, they let them know what they are, and those students help in the decision making on what goal that they're trying to reach. By doing that, that's good peer pressure on themselves, and we have had tremendous success with that because in the data room, it would show where teachers have targeted students, and then those targets that are met, our targets that are met, we're moving between 85 and 95% of our students whenever we target them. And a big part of that is the teachers have embedded the students, and they are a big part of the decision making because they help set those goals. And by setting the goals, the students feel like they can reach them. And we have teachers that even push them and say, let's just say if the student set that goal too low, be like, no, Roger, I know you can go 5 more points higher than this or that. And the students see that the teachers believe in them, and that's a big part of what's going on here at Pike County Elementary School. Our students know the teachers believe in them.
That's great because if you don't have their buy in,
Yes,
that's hard to even implement. Even if you have teacher buy in, if you don't have students coming on board, you've got a one sided track, so to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the biggest I will have to brag on. I can brag on all of my staff members, but one of my leading staff members that with her data up at 89% in reading and math. One of the biggest things that she does, and not only she does it, but a lot of vast majority of my teachers do it, is meet with those students a lot one on one as far as where they are and compliment them on the small victories because you have to celebrate small victories. If you don't celebrate the small victories, you will not get that big victory. And you have to make it a one on one thing to where they feel like it's all about them, and the more those one-on-one battles that you can win with your students, the entire class is going to excel.
That's awesome, and I can attest you celebrate big at Pike County Elementary. You've done anything from barbecues to hamburger cookouts and hot dog cookouts. You really are there for the students, and I know that they appreciate it, and I know that I can speak for myself that I appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you, thank you. And can I brag on the one group if you don't mind, Miss Eldridge? I have
Please do.
Yeah.
we set a goal for our students in the spring that if they reach a certain goal, that we would have celebration. In the past, we've had the pizza celebration, we've had going bowling and a pizza party, but the students wanted to go out of state. They wanted to go big, so the students wanted to go to the aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia. And I said, okay, in order for us to go to the aquarium, you will have to reach at least your entire class will have to reach 80% in reading and 80% in math. Well, guess what? We have a class that did that, and that is beyond outstanding. So we're going to be taking those students to Atlanta, to the aquarium, to get them an experience of a lifetime. This will give a lot of our students exposure that haven't been outside of the state, and to go see something like, and they deserve it and earn it. So we all have other celebration, but that's one of the biggest one that we have right now. Those students don't even know that they're getting this celebration because I'm going to wait until they get back to school to let them know. But yes, you have to celebrate the hard work they're doing, and you can't just pat them on the back. You got to show them uh, how much you love them by what you're doing for them.
That's incredible.
Do you need chaperones?
Well, we have some right now, but if we need additional ones, I'll make sure I have you on the list for that.
So, to kind of sum it all up, I'm just going to say I think when I walked into your school and I saw firsthand what you had implemented, first of all, I was ecstatic. Second of all, it reminded me to the times when I was back in the classroom and we used to do data driven instruction consistently. And so I was so glad to see you implement this. And it is being successful at your school, and I know it will be successful at other places.
And Mr. Drish, I want to say, Lisa brags on you all the time to me. Our offices are next door and we chat, and she cannot say enough good things about what you're doing for those students in your school and the teachers.
Well, I enjoy her also. It keeps me motivated because she and I we speak the same language when she's in my school. She often tells me about a principal that she had that was big into data, and it has to be something that, and Miss Eldridge and I, we had this conversation. You gotta love doing it. You got it because to me, when you love doing it, you can see the passion in it. The teachers can see the passion. The student can see the passion. And I feel like if I'm going to be the instructional leader here at my school, I got to lead by example. If I don't know the data, how can I expect my teachers to know the data? And my teacher know that since the data is important to the principal, well, of course it's going to be important to them. And if it's important to them, now we know that it's going to be important to the parents, going to be important to the student. So data has to be the heartbeat of the school. And Miss Eldridge, believe it or not, I got an even better tweak this year than I had the last time. But it's the tweaks are to make it. My job is I constantly I think like a teacher, and one of the things that when I became administrator, I didn't forget that I was once a teacher. And one of the things that I wanted from administrators is the things that I try to give to my teachers and trying to put everything at their fingertips so that they can just grab the data and go and don't have to worry about being bogged down several hours trying to figure out certain things. I feel like during the summer, that's my biggest job is to do the homework and to so that we can transition our data from grade level to grade level. And our teachers basically have a blueprint on every student before they walk in that classroom.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for your time today.
Thank you all. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a great day.
Our guest today has been Rodney Drish, former principal at Pike County Elementary School. We hope you'll share this podcast with the teachers in your life and give us a review or rating on the podcast platform of your choice. Growing the Forest and the Trees is a production of Troy Public Radio and the College of Education and Behavioral Sciences at Troy University. For Lisa Etheridge, I'm Shirley Farrell. We'll see you again next time on Growing the Forest and the Trees, the big picture and everyday realities.